What's going on, everybody? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, aliens and droids. Gather around the holocron because you are now tuned into LightSaber Radio, the most outrageous Star Wars show in the galaxy, where we live and breathe everything Star Wars, and this video is sure to stir up some controversy. Today, we're going to dive deep into the Jedi Order and reveal the dark side of their cult. For years, the Jedi have been revered as defenders of the peace and justice in the galaxy, but we're going to uncover the truth of their double standard. Get ready to have your perception of the Jedi change as we analyze their sect, expose their flaws, and criticize their actions. This is not your typical Star Wars video, so buckle up and let's explore the dark side of the Jedi. But that's not all, folks. We also have the latest news and rumors straight from the inner rim, so you will be up to date on everything that's happening in the Star Wars universe. And as always, we got the infamous Star Wars Impossible quiz, which will test your knowledge and make you feel like a Padawan learner all over again. So sit back, grab you some blue milk, and get ready to be transported into the underworld of the Jedi Order.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will reveal ourselves.
Bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of dark
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Hello there indeed.
So what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? We got Chris in the chat, Star Wars team leader in the chat, Darth Cardi's in the chat.
I'm a little salty.
And I'm back. I'm back, motherfucker.
I'm alive. I'm alive. I saw John
here.
Wick last night. The John Wick 4.
Was it good? Was it good?
Oh,
Right after
It
we're
was
done.
tell me.
so good.
Oh
Don't say
yes.
shit.
Oh, they're going to 6. There's going to be 6 movies. It's a 6-movie trilogy.
Not
times did they kill this dude's
necessarily anymore.
Hey,
not the
hey,
same
shut
story.
Up. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to see this shit after we get done with the show today, so be quiet.
It was
I don't wanna hear
good.
nothing
It was
about
like better than the last one, I think. It was better than 3.
Yes. So I'm a little salty today. I'm gonna
Why?
pull some shit up.
Who put your underwear in the uproar?
His name is the Marvelous Mark on TikTok.
The
This
marvelous
man
Mark on TikTok.
starts this whole video off talking about why the hell do we have this random ass no name worthless Jedi saving Grogu when you can have Obi-Wan or Ahsoka saving Grogu? And he's getting very bashful and doesn't know who the hell that is. But he does seem to claim that he's a Star Wars fan. Everybody on TikTok is lighting his ass up, and I wanted to kind of join in on that little party because he sat there and bashed the hell out of Ahmad Best for like a good minute and a half TikTok video.
Like, guys, this is the reason that people leave Star Wars.
I wanted to tell him to get in his lane, but I also want to invite him to the show. If he's so knowledgeable and he thinks that they could have done better, I would love for him to come on the show and tell us why he thinks so poorly of Ahmad Best's character. Because
Well, a lot of people don't understand it. They think Ahmad Best only. A lot of people don't know about the Jedi trial thing.
Nope.
They don't know about that. They don't know about the what is it going on? It's where it went 3 seasons or something like that.
3
and he played a Jedi Master. That's the same
He
Jedi
played-
Master he
And he was in Revenge of the Sith as Anakin's going in the elevator at the senatorial building. Ahmad Best's Jedi is coming out of the elevator as he's going up to go talk to Palpatine.
But also at that point, though, I understand Kyle's point where he's like, well, a lot of people don't know. You're very correct. But if you're this self-proclaimed Star Wars nerd, you know everything there is to know about Star Wars, like he's claimed in his videos and all of that,
then you would know who and what Ahmad Best is playing in that role.
Which
You would know that he was in Revenge of the Sith. You'd know that he was doing the Youngling Trials.
It starts off with a picture of a screen grab of Grogu.
Grogu, and it says the no-name Jedi survived Order 66.
Okay.
With a skull.
And it's the
in it.
marvelous Mark.
Yes.
All one word.
Yes, Mark with a C.
Yeah, this dude got like 69.9 thousand followers. That's a lot.
Yes. So if he
I don't
claims
see
to
the
be
video.
this,
He must have took it down. Did he
no,
take it down?
it's still there.
I think it's
Yeah.
just because
it
people are
Mark
so used to
Briggs?
like.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
Mark Briggs. Yeah,
It's
I don't see it on here.
it
so,
is.
So
Hold on.
on the phone, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, and it's the third over.
It's got Grogu on it. You can't miss
Yeah.
Grogu.
I don't. None of his videos have Grogu on there. I don't understand. Wait a minute. Hold on.
So he's got one that's got. He shows Jar Jar Binks would have gave Anakin trouble, and then it shoots to the no-name Jedi that survived.
I must
Order
be on the wrong
66.
damn page or something. What the hell is going
Here,
on?
I'll send it to you, Kyle.
Yeah, send it
Yeah.
to me in the chat because I want to watch this shit.
Every single person that uses this filter.
He might just be an idiot. You know, a lot of people just say dumb shit on TikTok just to get responses.
They got a response from.
Yeah, and then he's got another one saying, "What the hell is? Why is everybody excited about Ahmad Best's Jedi?" And he's going in and attacking Ahmad Best some more. This guy is not stopping.
I think a lot of it is just due to the fact that people are so used to like, especially in recent Disney, like that big Jedi coming in and saving.
Thank
the day.
you,
like the Luke
Akari.
Skywalker, like you know what I mean. And I think people are just so used to that when they don't have that character they're familiar with, now they're getting annoyed.
So she sent it
I
in the
just
chat.
sent it in the chat, the group chat. Maybe like I
Did you
I
send
do
me the
see
link?
that. No, I
She said
sent you
you-
the actual video.
Yeah. So the biggest
you
thing
can't-
about
the
this is
video
that
ain't
he
coming
has
up.
about 3 or 4 videos where he sits there and is bashing on Ahmad Best's character, Kelleran Beck.
And I understand where like it's a no-name Jedi, like why didn't you bring in a big person, blah blah blah. But then the same person who bashes on the no-name Jedi will also bash on the fact that, oh well, why are we seeing this person again? Bring in somebody new. We're tired of the old same old same old. I understand
Right.
that fans are very nitpicky. As a very nitpicky fan, I understand fans are very nitpicky. You know, we have Kyle and Garrison.
You also, it doesn't sound like he knows too much about Star Wars for claiming that he's
A lot of videos talking about the lore and about other characters. So if he claims to be a fan, he claims to know
All right,
a lot.
I'm about to watch. We about to watch this shit.
Yes.
Kyle, is your mic a little low?
I don't know. That better?
Yeah.
I don't want to turn it up too high. Last time I was spiking out. It was crazy. I sounded like shit.
Sounds better now.
I think y'all might need to turn up y'all's mic because I haven't changed my
No,
setting.
don't touch the back of the mic. That turns up the sound on the mic, not the headphones.
No, that's what he just.
No, turn up the sound of your headphones.
Yeah,
Oh.
I have adjusters on mine. Do you have? I knew exactly what Kyle was meaning.
Mine are.
Do I
Yeah.
sound,
can't
ask
adjust
the
mine
chat because
because
they're
they're
watching
hardwired.
live on YouTube. Do I sound bad, y'all? Somebody in the chat, let me know.
Yeah.
Until they respond, let's
Hold up,
watch
I'm
that
trying to
video.
get this video to pull up. It's doing weird shit.
Oh, it's not
Okay.
working.
It's just doing
Well,
something weird.
from what I see is that team leader has seen it, and
What in the hell is this? You're gonna tell me you couldn't have Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, anybody else but this no-name Jedi come and say Grogu? I think Dave Filoni.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. First off,
Hold on, I
Obi-Wan
recognize
is
this guy's
dead at
voice.
this time, so you're an idiot. That's the first.
So,
that's
I'm
the
gonna
first
start
thing.
right now. Ahsoka is on Mandalore. Obi-Wan is on Utapau.
No. What are you talking about? During the
Order 66.
Order 66.
He was on Utapau leaving,
No.
hiding to go
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
Mustafar. And Ahsoka was on the Venator class ship heading to Coruscant after rescuing Mandalore and had to take it down because of the Order 66. Her and Rex had to take it down. So you can't have those two.
And technically, if you go off of the extended universe, or legends, or whatever the hell they want to call it now, the librarian chick, what's her name again?
Joe Costa
Oh,
knew.
yeah.
Jocasta Nu was the one that actually saved them, and then they killed her at the elevator. So, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then she handed them off to that character that Ahmad Best played. So they just changed it a little bit. She's the one that got. So technically, she is kind of the one that saved him because she's the one that got him to the elevator so he could get the hell out of there. But like, dude, you don't know the lore if you don't know what's going on within like the timeline.
And Jon Favreau have no idea what they're doing with the Mandalorian. Wow.
No,
So, fun fact about this video is not only trending, but people are going after him. They're going after him with a knife, pretty much cutting his throat out. Because every fan, every cosplayer, every person that is a part of what we do, why are we so big?
I don't know. It messed up something. I don't know what it did when I played the video.
But everybody is literally sending a response back at him like, so Ahsoka's on a ship right now fighting for her life. Obi-Wan is on Utapau swimming away so he can go and confront Anakin or go to Coruscant. Like there's a list of Jedis. Plo Koon died in his ship. Ayla Secura was shot down in the forest. Kid Honey Bunny was shot on a bridge. Yoda's on Kashyyyk. You can't give a big name Jedi because we know where they're all at. Just like
Chris.
Like Chris.
I'm just personally, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with the no-name Jedi because I was getting kind of annoyed with the constant like
fan service.
Yeah, fan service, big name Jedi constantly coming up all the time. Like, do normal Jedis not exist anymore? Like, I don't know. I was glad that they did like Ahmad Best created a new character, and you know what I mean. Not everything has to be Obi-Wan. It wasn't
even
Ahsoka
a new character though. He wasn't even a new character.
Well, yeah, but like
somebody that we haven't
that's not like
seen hardcore. You know, we haven't seen him in movies. We haven't seen him in cartoons. Yeah. We saw him for a split second in Revenge, and then he had the Jedi, the Padawan trials, and like. Put some damn respect on his name. Like you could have given us anybody you wanted. John and Dave could have given us anybody. You can get a list of Jedis. You could have freaking put your Costa Nu in it and had your Costa Nu in the elevator. But you didn't. You went outside the box. You tried something different. And all the real fans, I'm going to say it, the real fans, the people that were happy to see him, not only because it's Ahmad Best, but the fans that know exactly what character Ahmad Best is playing, we all got excited. We all saw who that was.
And see, it's crazy because a lot of people don't even know, like, unless you're a real Star Wars fan, you don't even know that Ahmad Best was Jar Jar Binks. Most people don't know who the character was. Like, you ask the normal fan that just watches the movies and watches the shows but doesn't get into the actors and the characters and the lore and all that stuff. They don't know who played Jar Jar Binks. Oh, Jar Jar Binks? Yeah, I'm Ahmad Best. Who is that? They don't even know that. And then they don't know that he played in
unless you're like a big,
Jedi
like hardcore
so
fan.
I just think
but I do want to extend an invite. If he calls himself a fan, and he's willing to come on the show, I would like to sit down and talk to him. I want to know what his thought process was. I want to know why he thinks that.
He ain't gonna come
it wouldn't
on
be
the
a
thing,
bad,
especially if everybody's been attacking him. He ain't gonna come on the show because he knows he ain't gonna come.
So
hit him up and ask him, but I doubt he's gonna come.
That's I'm already gonna take this a small little screen grab of whatever and throw it up on TikTok and post or tag him in it. Another thing, so Mandalorian Outpost made a post on Instagram, and it says, so Ahmad Best actually cameos in Attack of the Clones. Do you think that his Jedi Kelleran Beck is undercover in this scene, or is it a different character? Perhaps just a twin brother on Coruscant, and it shows
him at the bar in
Attack of the Clones.
Okay, well, got that out of the way. Just wanted to hit that real fast because that's been making me spicy for the last 3 days. So
I don't know. I ignore stupid people.
Well, and the only reason why it makes me so mad is because it was that kind of hate that almost led him to his suicide in 2012. It was that kind of darkness that led him down that path. And I'm like I said on this last Wednesday, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's doing good. I'm glad he's in good mental health, and I'm glad Star Wars reached out a hand.
hold on,
And-
just to play devil's advocate here, it's not that kind of hate. He's not criticizing Ahmad Best. He's criticizing the creators. Okay, so I don't want to go too overboard.
Well, and he's also criticizing the character, which turned around when they did that with Jar Jar, led to a lot of hate to Ahmad Best. So when you criticize a character, it's also criticizing somebody's acting style, the way they look, the way they portray things.
Especially when you become a character. There's Heath Ledger, he was a method actor. Method acting isn't the greatest thing. It's
actually very
right.
It is any acting coach will tell you that not to do method acting, because that is essentially what kind of drove Heath Ledger off the edge, was because he became the Joker.
Right. But we're still allowed to dislike characters. And so
you're very correct.
He's still allowed to have an opinion on it.
Yes.
But
although I disagree.
There's a fine line between critiquing and just outright just shitting on a character. And when you shit on a character, you are essentially telling the person that you don't think they were good enough or whatever. And when, it's why the hell did we get a no-name Jedi? Like, how dare Filoni fuck this up so bad, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you should take a second and educate yourself on Ahmad Best. Maybe you should go back and you can look at things
Ahmad Best. It's on the character that
yes, and look what
that doesn't have anything to do with Ahmad Best though, as it has to do with a no-name Jedi. He said a no-name Jedi, which he's just a dumbass, because anybody that knows who the Jedi is, and anybody that watched the TV series where he's the Jedi that's teaching the younglings and the youngling adventure thingy, then you know who he is. If you watch, the Clone Wars, you know who he is. So the fact of the matter, he's talking about a no-name Jedi. It don't have anything to do with Ahmad Best. It has to do with the character that he knows nothing about. And he's shitting on that character, not so much the actor. He's not saying that. He didn't say anything about the actor being bad. He just said that a no-name Jedi, like, you're just an idiot because you don't know who he is. That just means that you're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? That's all you're basing your stuff
kind of
on.
what Darth Akari and CJ was saying. Akari says Ahmed said he was suicidal over the hate that Jar Jar got. Could you imagine knowing that and shitting on the very next character that he plays? Like, that's kind of what I was getting at.
That's where I'm trying to hit on the nail too. Is the hatred? Like, he obviously got well perceived. I've only seen one video, and it's this marvelous Mark guy. I haven't seen a lot of hate towards that character. Otherwise, it's just when something starts, people like to tag in and join the movement. We've seen this. We've seen a lot of this. Especially with
that kind of makes me think Ahmad Best is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna you're gonna kill yourself over a fucking character that you played because somebody didn't like a character, you're weak as fuck.
I mean, I wouldn't say
that kind of makes me not like Ahmad Best now. If he really was gonna kill himself over that shit, dude, you're weak as fuck, dog. That's some weak shit.
I don't know. I mean,
that's
look
part
at
of the risk that happens when you are an actor. I mean, when you put your work out there as an actor, like, it's meant to be consumed and criticized. That's kind of what happens. And so you just have to be prepared for that.
Yeah. I mean, look at Daisy Ridley, just in the Star Wars universe. Daisy Ridley. We don't all love the character Rey, but none of us were going out and attacking Daisy Ridley. That's where the border gets crossed, is when you start attacking. And that's what I've noticed, especially in the Star Wars universe, along with a few of the other ones. So it's not just Star Wars fans. But you start on, Rey's a piece of crap character. Who the fuck is Rey? Why do we need Rey? Blah, 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 blah. And then it transferred over to Daisy Ridley. And that's why Daisy Ridley ended up getting rid of all of her social medias for, I think it was like 2 years. And then you have the guy who played Tiny Anakin.
He's a bitch too.
Yes. He
was attacked in public. Though.
Yeah, he was bullied at school. He was bullied.
I don't care about that shit.
I wouldn't call any of these people.
If you turn yourself into a fucking drug addict because you was attacked. Now I understand, little Anakin was a little bit different. He was a child. Almost all child actors is fucked up. If you go back and you look at damn near every child actor, they grow up, they fucked up, they get on drugs, they do all kind of fucked up shit. Because
But you also got to
they don't
look at
have a life.
behind.
So I kind of give him a leeway, but you're a grown ass man or a grown ass woman, and you allow social media or fucking other shit to dictate to you how you're gonna live your life and how you're gonna feel about yourself. Dude, it's called self-esteem because it's the esteem of yourself. It's the way you feel about you. So if you feel bad because other motherfuckers talk shit about you, that means you feel bad about yourself in the first place, and you're a weak motherfucker.
I wouldn't call him weak.
I wouldn't
weak
call
is
him
not the
weak.
term.
So
Hey,
I've been
hold
attacked
on.
like
Can
a
I finish my
motherfucker by all
thought
kind of
first?
people.
Yes,
That's why I just don't
Harrison,
care.
go.
I
Harrison,
don't
hit
read
it.
the shit.
Hit
I
it,
don't give a
Harrison.
fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it weak. Some people just have mental problems, and I'm not going to talk about that. But when you are part of a movie, a big motion picture, when you're a big name actor, that's a risk you have to accept. Whether people criticize your character or criticize you, you are now a public figure. It's fair game to criticize your performance,
But
and
criticizing
criticize
and
you
then,
as an actor.
yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But openly attacking the person in public, as in getting in their face, throwing things at them, telling them to kill
That's just because
themselves,
people
is
are
Hayden
too
stupid.
far.
Christensen went through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Turning
and
into a
that's
bitch.
And that's
where
why
I
he
was
went
going,
into a depression
and
state.
Ikari
You know
said
what I'm
the same
saying?
thing.
You didn't see,
But-
you don't hear about his ass talking about he was going to kill himself. They attacked everybody. They attacked everybody in the in the prequel trilogy when it came out. They attacked everybody in the sequel trilogy. They attacked people in fucking MU. Keanu Reeves has done went through it. Every actor has went through this shit in some type of way. They went
Yes,
through
some people
ridicule.
are
They've been attacked. Look, I just watched the video of fucking snitching ass Tadashi 6ix9ine. They jumped his ass in the bathroom. You don't see his ass talking about he gonna kill himself.
So,
Dude, you have to be able to take that. That's just like us. We're on this show. We're going to get backlash about the things that we talk about. We already have. People have already talked shit. You know what I'm saying? I've got caught in this, between this, especially on Star Wars Audio Archive, I got a lot of shit talked about me because when I started doing this podcast, I'm cussing and doing stuff that I don't do on other podcasts. A lot of people said I was fake and all this bullshit and all kind of shit. I ignored that shit. It never make me want to go kill myself. Like, what the fuck?
But
I love me more than the whole world loves me. I don't give a fuck about what other people think.
Some people don't have that mental mindset. They're not that strong.
And-
some people,
That's a
some
choice.
people, yes, that is a choice, and everybody has that right to think that, and they got to work through it. And that's what Ahmad Best did. He went on an interview and stated, "It took a while for me to look at myself and look at my character as Jar Jar Binks and love it. I love Jar Jar Binks because I approached it like Jackie Chan did with the drunken samurai or the drunken karate. That's how his whole approach to Jar Jar Binks, the drunken kung fu. That's how he approached the whole thing with Jar Jar. His stumbling around. He's like, I put my heart into that character, and it took a while for him to finally be strong about it. At first, when you've not acted before, and everything you have done has been background work, and you're a major character in the first movie.
But I don't understand why that would affect him as an actor. I don't know. Is it something that has to do with Star Wars? Because it's like gang of Star Wars actors, unless you're like the main three. Unless you're, you know what I'm saying, like Leia or Luke or Han Solo, the main, Harrison Ford, unless you're them, most people didn't do shit with their careers after Star Wars. Their careers kind of tanked after Star Wars. Is there just something about Star Wars that's just bad luck to be an actor in Star Wars? You're just gonna get punished and fucked around.
Kyle, don't say that now, because then nobody's gonna want to be in Star Wars. Now
Keanu
we're not gonna
Reeves,
get any
we
more
want
Star
Keanu
Wars.
Reeves to play Revan. Stop.
You know what I'm saying?
But
It's the curse of.
I just don't, I don't feel sorry for people, because this is the thing, and this goes back to the Me Too movement, the whole fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Kyle, you're just gonna get us canceled.
Let's not.
No, I ain't got nothing against the Me Too movement, but I do not dude, there's programs out there. There's all kind of different things. If you need help, go get help. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing, the world is getting harder. It's not getting easier. It's going to get harder, and it's going to get harder it's getting harder every single day. And it's basically going to be fame or famish. That's what it's going to be. And if you're a weak individual, you're not going to make it. Everybody needs to stop kissing everybody's ass and oh, it's okay. Let me pat you on the back and tell you it's going to be all right, because the world does not work like that. That's not the real world. The real world don't give a fuck about your feelings. They don't give a fuck about what the hell you think these $1 million companies give a shit whether or not you fucking happy or not? They don't give a fuck. You think these other countries give a fuck about our feelings? They don't give a fuck. They don't. They do not care about
but
this
that
shit.
doesn't mean like we as individuals just
No,
can,
I get where everybody's coming from.
too.
I get, and
Like,
I
we
feel
still wanna
bad
be
that he went
nice.
through that shit. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't feel bad about that shit, but I'm not gonna hold your hand and tell you that you or you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be all right, small child. It's gonna be okay, because you can't handle the position that you put yourself in. You put yourself in that position. You the one that wanted to make yourself famous. That's why you go to be an actor, to make money and be famous. You wanted that. You wanted paparazzi. You wanted criticism. You wanted all these things. So I'm not going to sit back and baby you because it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. That's you have to deal with that. You put the cause and effect. You put yourself in that situation. So why is everybody sitting back babying this dude or any of these actors? I'm not going to baby any actor. Oh, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. That's real life. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I didn't want to wake up one day with MS, but I did.
So let's
Get to the Hothbreaker?
continue. Yeah, so let's continue our conversation after the podcast. Akari said it. No one's saying you have to feel sorry for him, but you don't have to make it worse. So
I get that.
be
I'm not
decent
gonna-
I thought we were
humans.
going to continue
Let's
after.
enjoy-
Let's just drop it. Let's just
Enjoy
drop it.
Yeah.
life.
Let's keep
fucking
going.
talk
Be
shit
nice.
about the dude. I'm not talking shit about him. I'm just saying, if that's the way you are, why should we have to baby somebody?
Be
Oh shit.
be good. Be good people. Be good fans.
I
Onto
mean, I love
the next segment.
I love him as an actor. I think he did a good job in the thing. I think he did a good job at Jar Jar. I don't like Jar Jar as a character. I think he was a nonsense character, but he brought into what that character was supposed to do, and I think he did an excellent job in the acting wise. You know what I'm saying? I didn't dislike him when the prequels came out. The prequels is one of my favorites. You got to think about it. We would not be in nowhere where we would be at without Jar Jar. Jar Jar is the one that fucking made the whole fucking thing. Like, if Jar Jar didn't do the vote of no confidence, you know what I'm saying, or the Supreme Chancellor thing, dude, it wouldn't work. None of the rest of the story would have made sense. So everything, his part was fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Which is great. Everything that and I think Ahmad Best is a great actor. You know what I'm saying? From the things that I've seen him do, especially on the little Jedi adventure thing, with the thing, I watched several of them episodes. I mean, they're for kids, but I like them just because you got to see the kids trying to beat these challenges, and it shows them it's competition. That's a good thing. So I'm not sitting back. I'm just saying, if that's really the person that you are, I don't respect you as a person. That's just me. Okay. So today we're going to be going over an interesting one, because when it comes to some Jedi, some people have very strong feelings. But what if I told you that the Jedi are hypocrites and live by a double standard? And that was true reason that the Sith were able to, overtake the galaxy. Would you get upset? Or would you be willing to have an open mind and look at all the evidence that the LS team has collected to prove this hypothesis? Well, we're going to make that's going to happen today on this video. We're going to try to prove that the Jedi were just as corrupt as the Sith and hid behind the lies that ultimately caused their downfall. But before we get to all that, we have a tradition here at LightSaber Radio, something we do just to get our outrageous juices flowing. Our form of an icebreaker, we call it the Hothbreaker, upon the Empire Strikes Back. Gary Anderson is going to give us a crazy scenario, then we are going to give our most outrageous responses. And we want everyone to join in, so put your answers in the chat. So, Garrison, drop that transition video.
All right, so I got this idea. We were watching Mandalorian, and I realized everybody's got all these crazy colors on. So I wanted to ask you guys, what color would your armor be if you were Mandalorian?
What color would my red and black?
I know it's based off of something, right? And you can either go along with that or you can go just whatever color you like. But yeah, what color would your armor be?
I would do red and black. Like
Why?
not even red, like a deep maroon, because I want dark colors. Like I don't understand Dan at all. Because then that motherfucker, that shit is bright as shit. Everybody could see that shit. You can see that dude coming from 10 miles away. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is way too bright. I wouldn't do bright colors. I'd do dark colors. So that way you could like hide in the, you know what I'm saying? You get in the shadows. It's harder for you to see, especially if you're like a bounty hunter or something like that. You would kind of want darker colors.
I'd agree. I like the darker colors like black.
Yeah, I would my favorite color is teal, but not like the lighter shade, like the deep teal. So I would probably do like a black and teal and then the whole armor matte as shit.
That would be dope. I'm not really a teal fan, but that sounds dope. Especially like if you have the concaves in, like
It was like the greenish blue one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Here, I'll show you.
Not like big into my colors, I guess.
That's what I would do. I would do like a black and like a deep, like a deep
kind
dark
of
maroon, almost like a brown.
Kind of along the same lines as Bo-Katan's, just a little bit greener. So it has, yeah. So it's kind of like Bo-Katan's, just a little bit greener. And that's my favorite color. I have teal everything. It's ridiculous. If I have an Ariat jacket that is gray and it has the Ariat letters down the, but I love teal. I'd probably do teal.
Dr. Cardi said black armor, blood red accents. Star Wars team leader said black and yellow accents. Midnight blue and chrome was what Chris said. Midnight blue and chrome would be good.
Yeah.
My two favorite colors is sky blue and red. But I don't think it's just blue, like that light blue. That's just gonna be too noticeable. Like chrome would be too noticeable to me. That should just be bright, like or yellow even would be kind of too.
Yeah, I mean,
bright.
you could do like a dark enough chrome where it like doesn't reflect like crazy. But like definitely like when it's bright chrome, I feel like your element of stealth is gone. You just stick out like a target.
Oh yeah.
You might as well just paint a target on your head and like.
But that's what I would do.
But I mean, it looks dope. I have to be honest. It still looks dope.
Who cares about stealth? You look cool. Fuck functionality.
Hey, out of all the Mandalorian, Din got the dopest outfit.
He does.
That shit is dope as shit. It's just not practical. It looks good as shit.
Really quick. So you see it when the armorer makes Bo-Katan's new shoulder plate. Do they just have like paint nights where they all get together and they like slowly take off, like they'll take off pieces of their like armor, obviously leaving the helmet on, but like they have like paint parties where they just like pass spray cans back and forth to each other because they come out and it's all that Beskar color. It's the chrome Beskar. So do they have paint parties? And I also want to know what kind of fucking sealant they use on this paint that they can go through explosions and the paint doesn't chip a millimeter.
I don't know, because that shit doesn't chip off. Like they be getting hit with bolts and hammers and dragons and everything else, be biting them and all kind of shit. That shit, I don't know. No, we can't really say that because remember in the first season of The Mandalorian where he had on that he had the brown chest plate on, and after the Mudhorn banged him around a little bit, it was pretty chipped up and beat up. They made that look good, so I guess it's not, and it was pretty bent the fuck up. So I guess it's not indestructible, but. Like most of the time, they get shot with a blaster, just be having a black mark on it. They like wipe it off, and the next scene you see them in, that shit looks all perfect. Like
just buff it out real quick.
Like that's so like I'm just thinking, do you guys remember like the fucking Flex Seal commercials?
Bro, Chris has a point. They definitely spend more time painting their armor than they do
Yes.
setting up proper security around their base. All
Yeah.
their kids are getting fucking kidnapped, bro. This is worst planning ever. God
Craft night.
damn.
No, but like, do you guys remember like early 2000s? There was I can't remember his name, but he did all of this stupid Flex Seal commercials where there was like a big ass hole in the boat, and he took Flex Seal tape and
yeah, I seen that
saran wrap, and he sealed the boat. Like that's all I'm thinking is because they came out with the clear Flex Seal. Like, do they just seal their paint with Flex Seal?
You got Flex Seal paint.
Ooh.
I guess.
They have that
Star
shit.
Wars, anything can happen.
Well, in Star Wars, they probably got way better paint than we got.
Yeah,
We
they
gotta
got.
figure this is
They got like.
this is a long
They're still
time
able to
ago in
use-
a galaxy
they're still
far,
able to
far away
use
that's
the lead
actually in the
paint.
future. Because they got way better shit. They got spacecrafts and shit that can fly through the galaxy at light speed. We don't have that shit yet. So I'm pretty sure they got some pretty good damn dope paint.
Well, if you think about it, like, okay, so lead paint is horrible for your health. However, the quality of paint went down when we could no longer put lead in paint. So
Now we got Tori advocating for the return of lead paint.
Mandalorians have lead paint for their armor. It's fine.
Bring back lead paint.
Hashtag bring back lead paint.
Yeah, that's
Fuck the
I don't know.
consequences.
I don't know what they use, but that
Fuck
shit's
your
way better
health.
than the
It
paint we
makes my
got.
house look prettier.
Even though
The
we're all
color's
getting
so
lead
much more
poisoning and
vibrant.
cancer instantly. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Jedi and are they hypocrites? And I have to say, after doing like I don't know, Tori came up with this damn subject, and then I went down a rabbit hole from hell for like 3 days searching all this shit. I was up all night last night, like going through and just summarizing what I had because I had so much information collected. So I'll let you guys go first before I get started because mine's going to be kind of big. And
Okay, so
hopefully
is
y'all
mine. So
cover some
Garrison,
shit.
like, I brought the Book of the Sith. I have notes. Kyle is new to this. He just spent 3 days. Oh no, I've been on this Jedi Are Hypocrites tangent for ever.
Well, for me, I don't know. I grew up like pretty religious, and I like to think I still am, right? And you see other people and just how they treat it, and I think how George Lucas depicted the Jedi, especially in the prequels, is a good parallel to kind of like the dogma that people can get into. And I'm not at all saying religion is bad because I think it's an awesome thing. I'm still religious myself, right? But I think some people can take it to an extreme where they miss the point sometimes. And I think that was kind of what the Jedi were meant to kind of reflect a little bit. I think the Jedi can take their own rules or their own principles to the extreme where they're missing on the what these rules were meant to be in the first
practicalities.
place. Not even the practicalities, but like what was this rule meant to drive you towards in the first place? You know what I mean? What was this rule meant to be in the first place? It wasn't for the sake of the rules, the sake of you know what I mean? So they're about like avoiding the dark side, right? Which is like totally fine. Yeah, I can see avoiding the dark side. Like you don't want to turn into an evil asshole, right? But then they're like, all right, what's the thing that might possibly lead you to the dark side? All right, you can't have any kind of attachments whatsoever. Can't even love someone. The rule was never about not loving people. The rule was about not letting that attachment drive you to do bad things. You know what I mean? So I think it's when it's just the dogma when you're too scared of bad, or where you're when you know what I mean? When you just get so entrenched in these rules that you forget the bigger picture. So for like back on that love thing, I don't think it should be ever like, oh, we shouldn't ever love people. It's the fact that you can't let your love, your attachment to someone drive you to do evil things, which I can understand that. But sometimes you just get so focused on the rules and the procedures and stuff like that you kind of miss the bigger picture. And I think that's what happened to the Jedi. I think they got so anal about some of their rules and some of their policies that they kind of miss the point sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Go ahead.
I see that, but at the same point though, like I look at it as so I was raised in religion. I wouldn't consider myself religious, but spiritual. How I see it is like with the Bible is a book of metaphors, right? Some people take those metaphors for their face value, and some actually say, hey, that's just a fucking metaphor. Like, if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. He's not actually telling you to mangle yourself. He's telling you to think about whether the thought of your right hand being gone is worth what you're doing. My issue with the Jedi is that they have the same basic rules as the Sith. They just reworded them. So there's,
I don't know.
comments.
The codes are pretty opposite. So I'm looking forward to hearing this.
So the codes are, through my power, I achieve victory, all of that.
Actually, they're not that much difference.
They're not. They're just. That's what I was like. They are, but they aren't. Like through the power I achieve victory, but the Jedi is like, through my helping of people.
There's no emotion, there's peace. There's no ignorance, there is knowledge. There's no passion, there is serenity. There's no chaos, there is harmony. There's no death, there is the Force. Now listen to the Sith Code. The Sith Code, peace is a lie, there's only passion. It's basically the same thing. Because the way the Jedi are saying it is...
Those are polar opposites.
No, listen though. There is no emotion. Okay? There's only peace. All right? Peace is a lie. There's only passion. Now listen to the similarities in it, and there is a difference, but there's also a similarity. Peace is a lie. It's practical. There can never be peace, and there never will be peace. There's always going to be conflict in the galaxy. Always. It'll never stop. As long as you have two different individual people that have different ideals, there will always be war. There's only passion. Passion is the root to strength. So you need strength in order to have peace. Because if you can't dictate what the peace is going to be, then you can't control a peace. That's why a lot of people look at so basically, if you look at America, they just say freedom, right? We're free.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We are, even though we say we're a free country, we're still under a dictatorship within the government makes the rules. The government makes all the rules. They vote on the rules. We don't even vote on the rules. We only vote on the people that we elect to make the rules.
Right.
So they make all the rules. So in a sense, it's still a dictatorship.
It's not control. I wouldn't call it a dictatorship.
But it's still under the same. You have a group of people instead of an individual person telling you what to do. It's still a group.
Yeah,
of people.
but it's still representative.
Yeah.
I can understand the fact that it's definitely become less representative, especially with
it's way less now. It's way less now. But
yeah.
So then through passion, I gain strength. That's what the thing. Okay. We know that knowledge is strength. Okay, so what the Jedi say is there's no ignorance, there's knowledge. So basically you're saying that there's power because knowledge is power. The more knowledgeable you are, the more you're able to deal with a situation. Anybody. So knowledge is technically a power. There's no passion, there's serenity. Okay, that goes back. There's only passion. Well, they say through strength, I gain power. I gain strength, knowledge, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. Through power, you are no longer a slave. because you gain the strength to stand up against your oppressors. Okay? The Jedi say there's no chaos, there's harmony. Well, you had to create that harmony. So that's where they're hypocritical, because they fought to secure that harmony against the Sith. You fought and killed. You fought wars in order to do that. So there is chaos. You had to create chaos in order to get to harmony. So they're saying there is no death, there's only the Force. That's the only thing that's really completely changed. The Force shall set me free. The Force shall set me free because if you're dead, you're dead. But the Force shall set me free. Basically, you're using to break my chains. You're using the Force in order to gain power, to gain victory. Through victory, your chains are broken. The Force shall set me free. It's still about the Force. The whole epitome of it is still about the Force. Go back to the Jedi. There is no death. There's only the Force. Once again, it comes to the Force. They're both the premise of both of them is the Force. One uses it for fucking one way, and one goes behind the lies of what it says. In order, they make it sound good, but it's basically saying the same thing. Because they're using the Force to gain strength, to attack, to rid themselves of anybody that opposes them, so they can have peace. The Sith, the only difference that they're doing it is they're letting you know we're kicking your ass, and then you're gonna do what the fuck we do. We're enslaved.
So Darth Carey, I was actually going to bring this up. So there's a point where in the Book of the Sith, it will talk about the reign of the axe. And in the Book of the Sith, if you don't have it, you will actually
Tell
see
me what page it's on.
Reign of the Axe. It's on 32 and 33. So it's talking about how there's these, within a holocron, they found out about, the kings and all of that. The reign of the axe lasted 3 centuries. Ada sustained his life energy with the dark side. He worshipped the Sithari, or god of the Sith, only when I cannot speak this morning. Rakatan conquerors arrived, did his life end. Yet even in his death, he achieved final victory for the Sith by driving off them. It is a simple principle. A strong ruler gives power to the empire. So you see Yoda make a comment saying, a grand master even the Jedi have, but a voice all our members have. Except they do, but they don't. Because they all have a voice, but at the end of the day, it's Yoda and mainly Mace that makes all of the calls. Mace even commented, said, this system is only attractive for the kings. Those beneath them waste their gifts as slaves or pursue the narrow-minded goals of becoming kings themselves. Creativity and industrialness blossom under an open and free system such as the Galactic Republic. And these qualities inevitably triumph over the monomania of a dictator. Except, as we know, the Republic, and as we see, the Republic and the New Republic were not, free. You had the people on the top of the Coruscant, they were free to live their lives. The people on the bottom just kind of existed. You go further into the book, page 44 for Kyle, they talk about Sith incantations. Yoda, keep far away from the younglings, such incantations must be. And then it goes into Sith rituals. And Mace, the Jedi have no need for such rituals. Grandma Palpy calls out Mace. This is the most outrageous thing I have ever read. With their council, their trials, their ranks, their temple, the Jedi are nothing but ritualistic. There's later on in the book, I can't find the exact page, but they're talking about I think it's on in the spell chapter. It's talking about the mind tricks and all of that. It might be in with the Night Sisters. Anyway, somewhere in there, it's talking about the controlling of the minds that happen. And one of them, I think it might have been Mace or Luke, who said something about how, well, freedom of choice is welcomed with the Jedi. The Jedi would never. Yo, I see you guys do a mind trick on somebody every 5 seconds. And, you know, going back into my Garrison and I kind of talked about it. I think it was last month or something like that, where they want true equality, but they're still segregating the information. Like, if you wanted true equality and peace and all of that, then the way to get through that is through education. And that's the Sith code. There is no passion, there's knowledge. And the truth will set you free. Well, how can they get that knowledge if they're completely negating the other half of the Force? Because the Force does have, like everything, a dark side to it. But you dare not talk about that. You dare not question what happens on that side of the Force, because then you're like put into a holding cell for insanity or something. I don't know. But they question whether you're truly good or not. Well, and, you know, Anakin ended up going to the dark side mainly because he wasn't getting fucking answers.
Well, and see, that's another thing. When you look at the Jedi, they get rid of anyone who challenges them. It becomes obvious throughout the movies that the Jedi do not like obstacles, whether they are interpretable shifts or just regular people who do not want the Jedi to come onto their planet or destroy everything. The Force usually will oppose anyone who gets in their way. And this can even come back around. These are not the droids you are looking for. Line where the stormtroopers were in the way of Obi-Wan, he did what he did and had to. So basically, he's using Jedi mind tricks and just telling people without their consent. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things, you know, they get rid of anybody. They killed the entire race of the Sith. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really get in, the Sith were a race. They were red, tentacle, ugly people. Mm-hmm. And they destroyed them because they didn't follow into their dogma. So that's just one of the ways that they just anybody that gets in the way of challenging their rule, because basically it's their rule, they kill them. Yep. That's what the Sith looked like. They were ugly. And then somebody had sex with one of those people. Then, you know, they're extremists. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't have to do with the light side, then it's not right. But you're using something that is of dark nature when you're using Jedi mind tricks on people. That is something that is dark. Controlling one's thoughts and mind, that is very, very bad. You know, that's probably the worst thing you can fucking do. And exactly. We see that when we go into the sequel trilogy, as when Kylo Ren tries to use it against Rey and tries to rip her thoughts out of her mind. That is bad. That is extremely bad to do to somebody. And the Jedi, they might not have been ripping their fucking, and if you go back to the Clone Wars, they did do it. Mason and them did it. They were taking people's memories to find out the information. That is bad.
And
that is
I mean,
extremely dark.
Like Darth Akari said, you know, Obi-Wan made that entire dude change his life. Like, granted, it was for the better, but who are you to tell somebody who their life should be? Like, he looked at that dude and was like, I do not want a death stick. You want to go home and rethink your life. And he did. Like, he fucked with his brain so much that he went home.
Rethink his life.
He made him rethink his entire life. Granted, it was for the better. He had a better life.
Yeah. No. He still could have come to the same conclusion. He didn't tell him what to do with his life. He said just rethink it. So
it all fault. Last night, me and my wife.
In Obi-Wan's defense, he just said rethink his life. He could have come to whatever conclusion he wanted to.
Last night, me and my wife was watching a movie, and it was a Lifetime movie. It was based on a true event where some lady, she had a miscarriage, and she kidnapped this woman's daughter when she was a baby and raised her for 18 years. Treated her great, you know what I'm saying? Treated her phenomenal, you know what I'm saying? Gave her everything she wanted and did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Was the best mom ever. But when she got caught, She still did 23 years in prison because what she did was wrong. Regardless of the situation, regardless of how good you try to sugarcoat the bad that you have done, you still did something very wrong. And that's what the Jedi do. They try to sugarcoat it with like, oh, we're the peacekeepers of the galaxy and we're the good guys and we're this. But you still use evil tactics and hide them behind this light side of the force quotations that y'all want to put up. Y'all kill people. Y'all use the force to fight against people that do not have the force, which gives you a superior advantage, which is something that is purely evil. If you're really saying you're a peaceful person, you would not use higher tactics, use something that gives you an advantage against people that do not have that same advantage. You would put yourself on an equal playing ground. They take people's children. Just go take their children.
You can't argue with that one.
Yeah.
Babies. And not that the parents ain't happy that their kids leave, but they still take these children. They take these children, then they teach these children that they shouldn't have no emotions. But they know that they have parents out there somewhere that miss them and love them. They know that something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you try to teach them that not to have any emotions and to be basically go against any nature of any being. Love is the most strongest emotion on the planet, in the galaxy, on any galaxy. And you teach them that it is wrong to love, even though, and the thing that bothers me, you tell them it's wrong to love. It's wrong to love and do all this stuff. But then you have other people that are doing it. You tell Anakin he can't be in love with Padme. But then you got people that got 5 wives.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
Also along with that though is they talk about how Jedi is a religion, and then they say, oh well, he can do that. He can have multiple wives because it's the religion back on his planet. Well, if you take them as small children, how is he gonna know that? Like,
that's a good point.
How is it? How is
that's a good point.
And also, like, you can have. I understand. Like, you can have like multiple different religious ideologies in your head. I consider myself spiritual, not religious. I don't want to confine myself down to one religion. But like, you're gonna say the Jedi are the religion, they're the best religion, they're the end all be all essentially. And we hear that numerous times in books and movies and in everything. But yet you're opening up one of your Jedi to another religion. Like I'm all for teaching the Padawans where their home planet actually is and what happens on their home planet. Because at some point, they're probably going to want to go back. If the council doesn't send them back over there to do some mission or whatever, they're probably going to want to go see what it's like because it's just normal curiosity.
Where you come from.
Yeah. But like, so I understand that aspect, but being like, oh yeah, I'm a Jedi, but also it's okay for me to have wives when they can't because it's part of my religion back on my home planet. Be realistic, dude. Like, no, you have 7 wives because you found a glitch in the system.
Well, just on top of that, you're going against natural. Every culture has a natural. It's in their psychology to procreate. It's in there to have children, to have offspring. It's in our nature. And you're telling Anakin that he can't fall in love and he can't do that. And you're telling all these other Jedis that they can't do that. You're going against their nature. And that's just, you can't, I don't care how strong the Force is. The Force ain't stronger than nature, as we see. You know what I'm saying? Because who is the only person that do, I mean, there's several people that out there that didn't do it, but who is to say they didn't do it? We have Grogu. But we know that there was only Yoda and Yaddle. Like, how did you get Grogu? Well, come on, you put 2 and 2 together, you get 4. You know, you get a Yoda and a Yaddle, and you get a Grogu. I mean, that's the only way it could happen. You know what I'm saying? If they're the only two, now there might be other ones out there that we just don't know about. But at the same time, at some point, you got to sit back and say, okay, you know what I'm saying? This just doesn't make sense. And they're going against the practical nature of every living species that we know of on our planet. So I'm speculating that it's like that on the rest of the galaxy because there's more than one of every species. So that means they had to, you know what I'm saying, have babies. So they was having intercourse. So if they was having intercourse, then they were having, you know what I'm saying, not to necessarily be in love, because as we know from mammal species on this planet, they don't necessarily have to be in love to procreate, but they're still having sex. And they're still having some type of commitment to one another for that time period. And so it just doesn't make any sense. Then you got the kids. And, you know, them taking kids and not being able to be in love. But then they talk about peace. But we seen Qui-Gon tell Anakin and his mom, I wasn't here to free slaves. There shouldn't be slavery. If your job in the galaxy is to bring peace, why is it only confined to the inner rim? Maybe the mid rim. But the outer rim, you don't give a shit about. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever go back. You know what I'm saying? Obi-Wan didn't ever go back to free his mom. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go back to free slaves and help Tatooine. You know what I'm saying? Or any of these other planets that slavery is still existing in. You know what I'm saying? You don't see him going to Corellia to stop the spice trade or not Corellia, but Kessel, and stop the spice trade and the slavery that's going on there. But you're supposed to be the keepers of the peace for the galaxy. Not just the Republic, but for the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have no problem going clear out of the galaxy to fight other ones and other cultures in the book that threaten the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have no problem with the Mandalorian War. You didn't have no problem killing off the Sith. You didn't have no problem doing anything, but it's okay with you to say, oh, we're peacekeepers and slavery is wrong to us, but we're just going to let slavery because it doesn't directly impact us. That's just hypocritical of their whole philosophy.
Yeah.
So I found a couple of them. Mind shard, a silver of psychic pain that is hurled from your own consciousness into your enemy's brain. Memory walk, a link that can open your enemy's mind and make it possible for you to compel them to relive tragic or tragic or humiliating recollections and bring forth layers of shame. And of course, Luke is, you can use telepathic link to calm and reassure someone too. It's in the nature of the Sith to only see the negative. Well, I mean, when you have someone constantly coming after you, saying that you're the bad guy, like you're gonna find the darker ways to do things.
Dude, it was best explained in The Last Jedi with Luke and Yoda. When Luke catches the tree on fire with the books in there, or Yoda catches it, I don't remember who actually.
Sacred texts, yeah.
He was like, you know what I'm saying? Luke had already given up on the shit because he knew it was bullshit. Then Yoda comes and tells him it's bullshit. It's about the Force. It took Yoda to die, be dead for a grip, talk with Qui-Gon and, you know what I'm saying, all these different dead Jedi, and they all realized that they was wrong. And Luke to figure out that they're wrong, and then to burn the sacred text because they're bullshit, in order to come to a reality that the dogmatic ways that the Jedi were doing was just bad. You know what I'm saying? One of the things is they viewed everything of the dark side so bad and everything on the light side so good. But Darth Plagueis had the ability to heal people. He could heal people and keep people from dying. And he did it in the book. He created life with the Force. Now, just because he's a Sith is creating life and healing people and keeping people from dying, them is all good things. Them is all good things. Healing somebody, you know what I'm saying, bringing people back from the dead and all kind of different stuff. Jesus did it and we all praise him.
But it's considered Sith alchemy.
Because he used the dark side of the Force to do it. He's a bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even the fact that he used the dark side of the Force, because Rey did it to help to heal the giant snake creature. I don't
And
think
Kylo.
Yeah, and Kylo. I don't think that he used dark side to do that. It was just something that the Jedi did not agree with. Because
think it
the
was just the
Jedi,
Force.
if the Jedi Council was still around when Rey was coming in, you know, with Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi and all of that, if there was still a Jedi Council, they would look at Rey and be like, "No, you're evil. Get the fuck out of here." Because
Yeah, she shot lightning out of her hands.
Because you force healed a snake. How goddamn dare you?
After doing all this research, I've kind of come to a different conclusion when it comes to the dark side and the light side. You know what I'm saying? I have looked at it. I'm starting to look at it like there's no dark side or light side. It's just the Force.
Yeah.
There's just the Force, and it's just the way that you use the Force. The Force gives everybody the same amount of abilities, because there's Jedi, if you go back, there's Jedi that's done stuff that you would consider that would be dark side, like essence transfer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's Jedis that use essence transfer to take over somebody else's body and keep on fighting. Now, they left the body after the fight was over, but they still did it. You know, that would be something that would be dark side. The Jedis allowed cloning to happen, and they said it was okay, and they fought alongside the clones. That would be no different than force alchemy. And force alchemy is looked at like a dark side trait. Even though the Jedi used it in the beginning of time, if you go back to Dawn of the Jedis, they taught force alchemy. You know what I'm saying? Alchemy is what Darth Plagueis used in order to create life. He used alchemy. So it's just the Force. There's not a dark side. It's just the way that you use it. The Force is like a giant fucking like energy field, basically, the way it's explained. The way Obi-Wan explained, it's a giant energy field that binds the galaxy together. And if you use it for evil shit, then you're a bad person. If you use it for good shit, but you got to make sure that your good shit aligns with what the Force thinks is good in order for it to be good. Because the Force don't, from what I'm looking like, the Force don't even give a shit. The Force is, yeah, you want to be a bad guy, be a bad guy, shit. You want to be a good guy, be a good guy. I don't give a shit. You have midichlorians in you, you can use the Force. And that's basically where it came down to. Because think about it like this. Look at the Gray Jedi Code. The Gray Jedi Code makes the most sense.
I like Gray Jedis.
So the Gray Jedi Code says, flowing through all, there is balance. There is no peace without passion to create. There is no passion without peace to guide. Knowledge fades without the strength to act. Power binds without serenity to see. There is freedom in life. There is purpose in death. The Force is all things, and I am the Force.
Yes.
That makes more sense than both for the Sith and Jedi Code, because it's like a combination of both of them. That's what really made me, when I started really...
It acknowledges the realities in both. Like, realistically, yeah, there's not peace. Like, you can't have perfect peace. But realistically, if there is no peace, you're gonna go crazy, and you're gonna, you know what I mean? You need passion and you need peace, right?
Don't check this out.
You need strength and you need knowledge. Like, everything, it comes hand in hand. And so I think it just acknowledges the realities of both.
You put, like, so you remember when you was a kid and you was in school and they had the ant farms, right? And you be watching ant farms and they're all peaceful and they're just working and doing the thing. You introduce a new ant into the ant farm, they go tripping out. Some of the ants start following this queen, some of the ants start following this queen, they end up battling out, they fight, they kill, because a new person was introduced into the story. That's the way the entire universe works. And I'm saying that, I don't know what happens in the rest of the universe, in our universe, because we don't know if there's life on another planet. But you look at our planet, okay? You look at our planet. Every time a new president comes in, you're introducing a new character within the situation. A new person takes over in another country. You know, before Putin was the president, we went through a time of peace. Even during the time that Putin was the president, now he changed up the thing, he changed up the scenario. Now bad shit is happening. Anytime a situation is changed, anytime somebody new is introduced into the situation, it causes conflict. There's new fucking things. Conflict is inevitable. It's going to happen. There's always going to be conflict. You can be having the greatest time, and we've all been through this. You can be having the greatest time with your significant other. Sitting there chilling, you're at the movies. Somebody says the wrong thing or does the wrong thing, it causes conflict. There's a conflict coming out. You're like, what the fuck was that about? You know what I'm saying? You might take it wrong. Conflict is inevitable. You can't get rid of conflict. Without conflict, there can't be peace. You have to go through the conflict to get to peace. You have to go through peace to get back to conflict. And that's what happens within the Star Wars galaxy. So this whole, the Jedi are perfect shit, they caused a lot of the conflicts that happened within the galaxy because they tried to dictate to what was going to happen. You can't tell somebody they can't do something. Not in a free and peaceful environment. You go into a free and peaceful environment and you start telling people what they can and cannot do, it's going to cause conflict. So they're just as much guilty as anybody else. When you take a Jedi and they go to a planet for a conflict and then they cause more conflict, before they get to the peace part, you cause more conflict. You cause more death. All because of what your code says and what your ethics say. Your ethics is not, and that was the problem. And I think Yoda kind of figured that out towards the end. Yoda was kind of figuring that out towards the end. I think Yoda kind of figured out that this whole idea of balance, you got to think about that. The Jedi's idea of balance was to kill all the Sith. Right. That's not balance. If you take out all the dark side, then all you have is the light side. That's not balance. And that's why I think that Yoda kind of figured it out, because he was like, dude, this is the balance is going to be, there has to be an equal amount on both sides. There has to be an equal amount of dark side users and an equal amount of light side users. It's just the Force, though. They're just the way that they're using the Force. They're using it for what they consider dark, and it's no different. The Sith were just the only thing that's different about the way the Sith handles shit and the Jedi handle shit. The Jedi hid behind their code. The Sith just told you, we're going to kick your ass and take you as slaves. You know what I'm saying? The Jedi were doing the same thing, because you look, they go to a planet, and this happens in a lot of books, and they go there for a reason. And then the first thing they do after they fix the reason, you know, if it's in the Outer Rim or something, they convince the planet to join the Republic that's going to tell this planet what to do. Then they have to follow the rules of the Republic. You can't sell spice if you want to. You can't do this if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can't do these things no more. Now you're part of the Republic. The first thing they do after they save them, they say, we saved you. We're the good guys. Come and be one with the Force with us. And join the Republic. Join the Republic. And then they join the Republic, and now they have to follow rules. That's what the Separatists was fighting against. They got tired of the Republic telling them what they could do. Like, dude, we don't want to do that. We want to do our own shit. We're our own planet. Why can't we do what we want to do? No, you can't do that. You got to follow the rules. Yep. Everybody got to follow the rules. Well, if everybody got to follow the rules, then you're not really free. There's not really peace. And that's where the whole dogmatic way of the Jedi fucked up the galaxy. And that's why they were wiped out. That's why Order 66 was so easy. There's a reason it was so easy for Palpatine to manipulate everybody, because he just played off of their wants. He just told them, you're going to be free. Join the Separatists and, you know what I'm saying, fight against the Republic, and you don't have to follow their rules no more. Wasn't hard. He used common sense tactics in order to win. We use them with our kids. We use them with our dogs. You know, here, if you do what I tell you to do, I'll give you this treat. That's all he did. And he manipulated the entire galaxy and then conquered the whole damn thing and then created the empire and said, okay, yeah, y'all fucked up. Because now I'm about to make all y'all slaves. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put me in this position of power. Now I'm about to use my power. He says it. He said it to Anakin. The only thing the Jedi feared was losing their power. Same as the Sith. And they feared that. They feared their control that they had. Because the Jedi was the only ones that truly didn't have nobody that they had to answer to. They could do what they wanted. They had to answer to the council. They didn't have to answer to the Republic. They didn't have to go. And Palpatine utilized that. You don't have to answer to nobody. So I'm just going to make you a general. That way you don't have to answer to nobody. Go out here and fight this war. He manipulated them. That's what made it so good, because he gave everybody what they wanted, what they thought they wanted. He was just like handing treats out, like everybody was puppies. Like, here, let me hand you a treat. 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 Let me give you what you want. Let me give you what you want. Now, oh God, I'm in charge. I'm the ruler of the galaxy. I'm the emperor. Now I'm about to kick all y'all's asses, because now y'all have nobody to fight for you, because I wiped out the Jedi. They were controlling you. It's all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It all boils down to, there is no dark or light side. It's just the way that you choose. Because then you got to think about it. They call them dark Jedis. Because they use dark side shit, or they might not even use dark side shit. They call them dark Jedis because they use stuff to get what they want, instead of using their powers in order to do what the Jedi tell them to do. Now they're dark. No, they're just saying, I don't believe in that shit, but they don't go join the Sith. They're not out killing people and doing all the bad things that the Sith were doing. They're not doing that shit. They're just using their powers. They're using mind tricks to, I want some gold, so let me go over here and tell this dude he's going to give me his gold. And now I'm living on, you know what I'm saying, a planet. I'm rich as shit. I got all this stuff, and you know what I'm saying, but I'm classified as a dark Jedi because I didn't follow the way that you wanted me to do it. I have to use the Force in this exact way, or I'm a dark Jedi. I'm just no longer a Jedi, which is crazy, because they didn't ever call Dooku a dark Jedi. They never called Dooku a dark. They automatically, he's a Sith.
Well,
but if a Jedi leaves the organization and becomes and uses the dark side for what they feel is dark side, they call them dark Jedis, because they used to be Jedis. But as soon as you go and you start doing the shit that Dooku is, you're automatically a Sith. Now, they didn't call him a dark Jedi. They call, he's Sith.
He was a Sith, though.
He was a Sith, but you know what I'm saying? He still should have been labeled as a dark Jedi. But they label the guys that are dark Jedis as not doing bad shit. They're not even doing bad shit. They just left the order, and they use their powers for personal gain. Not so much to take over anybody. They just want to be rich, and they want to have some nice shit and hump some fine girls. You know what I'm saying? Or fine men if they're women. Then they're automatically considered dark Jedi. It's like, that's not dark. That's just being away from your dictatorship that you try to command me that I have to do these things. Because when you break it down, the Jedi were dictatorships too. You know what I'm saying? You think we say Putin is a dictator, right? This is what we classify Putin. But he has a general. He has commanders. He has people underneath him. You had Yoda, dictator. You had Mace, general. Kid Monday, general. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. It's the same shit. There's no difference to what they're doing. They just hid behind the fact that they said that they were good. And they really wasn't doing, I mean, they did good shit for the galaxy. Well, you have to sit back and really think it. Their idea of what they were doing were good. They were doing it for the right reasons at first. And then I think at some point they got so into this position where they just thought that this is what you were supposed to do. And that, just like our government does, they make a law and then they amend the law. Okay, so you can't have attachment. Now you can't have a wife. Now you can't have no babies. Now you can't do this. They kept amending the original law that just said you can't have attachment. Attachment, you can be in love with somebody and not be attached to that person. Like, I love my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? I always loved my ex-wife. She gave me 2 beautiful children. I will always have a spot in my heart that I love her, but I can't stand her as a person. I'm not attached to her by no means. But I always will love her. She was like the first love of my life. And I will always love her. But I have no attachment to her. It wasn't even hard for me to tell her to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this ain't working. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no problem with that. So you can love somebody and not being attached to them. There's difference between loving your child and loving a person. You know what I'm saying? And so I could see why Jedis wouldn't want their they're Jedis having kids, because you're gonna die for your kids. You're gonna make mistakes for your kids. You'll fucking do anything for your kids.
Yep.
No questions asked. So I can see why, okay, we need to make an amendment to that, because if somebody loves this person, even though they might not be attached to them, they're going to have babies by this person, and they're going to be attached by their babies. But then that's what you need to say. Okay, you can get married, you can love somebody, but we got to cut your shit. You know what I'm saying? No babies coming. We got to take out your uterus, cut your balls off.
Jeez,
You know what I'm saying? You can't have no babies. We can't be letting that happen, because you're going to be attached to them. But then it's no difference than, you know what I'm saying, master and apprentice. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that Obi-Wan was heartbroken when Qui-Gon got killed. Do you think Obi-Wan didn't have some type of attachment to Qui-Gon? When Obi-Wan cut down Anakin, he's crying. He's heartbroken. He had an attachment to his Padawan. It's no different. So it's basically... they're hypocrites, because you say you can have no attachment, but then they're all attached. You can even tell it with Yoda and Dooku, like how disappointed Yoda was with Dooku, and Dooku tuning to the dark side. And Yoda's supposed to be the grand master of them all.
And then you see it again with Luke and Ben. Both Bens, actually.
So it's just, you know what I'm saying? They have attachment. You're going to say you can't have attachment, but Luke loved Leia. That was his sister. You could see it in the videos. You could see it when they're fighting. Luke loved his sister.
You could see it in that kiss.
Oh, Kirsten.
They didn't know then. But that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. There was so much attachment in the damn Jedi Order, it was sickening. You know what I'm saying? They had more attachment than regular streets, you know, regular life. But they sit back and talk about they don't have no attachments. And I could see why not having attachments could be a good thing. I mean, at least for the dark side. But is that really truly the dark side? If they would have let Anakin just marry Padme and let everything happen the way it was supposed to, and just they didn't have to hide the secrets, it's very unlikely that he would ever turn into Darth Vader. It was the secrets. It's all that buildup. It's like carrying a ton weight on your back every day, trying to hide this for people that you care about, that you trust, that you've been around for the last 10 years of your life. That's hard to carry. It's hard to carry lies. That's why it's easier just to fucking tell the truth. Say the things that's on your mind. Say what you feel, because if you don't and you hold that shit in, it's like carrying a weight.
What you wanna say? I'm just kidding.
I've done it before in life. I learned a long time ago, when you don't speak your mind and you don't say the things, it is fucking so hard. You know, when people make you angry, you don't have to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? But tell them, hey, yeah, that fucking hurt me. And you'll find out truly how people are. You'll find out. One of the greatest sayings I ever heard, Tyler Perry said in one of his movies, he said, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that everybody's always going to be the same, but if somebody comes to you and they're just a fucking dick and they do you wrong, you know, forgive them. Okay, everybody makes mistakes. But if they do it again, fuck you. You got to go. You show me who you really are. But holding that in and not saying nothing to them at all, and just holding that on your shoulders, that's a hard weight. That is a hard weight to carry. And it's just something that that's why I learned I just speak my mind. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I say what the hell I think. Because if you hold that shit in, it'll fucking kill you. It'll fucking, especially when you care about people. Especially when you care about people. Everybody always told me I was too hard on my kids, but all my kids graduated high school, you know what I'm saying? All my kids are doing good. And it wasn't that I was hard on them. I just taught them cause and effect. You fuck up, there's an effect. You know what I'm saying? You make mistakes, there's effects. That's just the real world. And it's not just about you. It affects multiple people in the world. That's just the reality of it. And that's exactly what happened with the Jedi. The Jedi just thought that they could go out and do what they wanted. Well, that caused effects to happen. That hurt people. That you don't think them people that gave up their kids to the Jedi, it didn't affect them? The Jedi just come take your kid? Because he's force sensitive, even though you're like, yeah, it's a good thing. They can go be a Jedi. They could be the protector because they built this persona up. You don't think that affected them people, them parents? To miss your kid, to never know what happened to your kid? Do that shit. Then now that guy's an asshole. The dad is an asshole. He goes to work every day and he's an asshole because he misses his kid. He's worried about his kid. So now he's an asshole. And then that guy goes, he's mad because this guy, the guy that kid was, he goes asshole to this other guy. Now he goes home and be an asshole to his lady. She wants to have kids. I don't want no kids. The Jedi might come take them. You know what I'm saying? They might be force sensitive and the Jedi are going to come take them. Then she's angry now, so she goes to the store. It's the cause and effect theory. It's a butterfly effect. It just keeps going on and on. Mm-hmm. And that's the things that I taught my children. And they look at things and I would like to say that they always use what it says train a child in the way they should go, and when they get older, they will not turn from it. But I don't think that that's completely true, because I was on my kids about this, and they didn't always follow out like that. But they did, none of them's doing bad in life. You know what I'm saying? They're all doing pretty well. But they still make the bad decisions, as we all do. Nobody is perfect.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying back, the Jedi weren't perfect, the Sith aren't perfect. They just had different dogmas that they followed. But if you really look at it and you break it down, the Jedi are hypocrites. They are truly fucking hypocrites. They broke a lot of the rules that they based and they set for themselves. But you also got to look at its time. Look at us. Look at our world right now. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that people get away with nowadays, you couldn't get away with that shit back in the day. Like, what the hell? You couldn't walk down the street and be a guy wearing a dress. Somebody go fuck you up. Now people do that shit. Times change.
There's also things that you could get away with back then that you can't get away with now.
Yeah. I mean, back in the 60s, you could get fucking high, or 70s or 50s, you could get high as shit off any drug you wanted to. Went against the law. Now, damn near every drug is against the law. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different things. You could shoot somebody in the face if they did something. Now you shoot somebody in the face because they wronged you, you're going to prison. Back in the cowboy days, you could just shoot a motherfucker for wronging you. They didn't give a shit back in the Wild West. That's just how it was. But that's just like America. America talks about how great we are. We're so great. We conquered a country that people already lived here. We came in. We talk shit about Putin bombing Ukraine, but we were just bombing Syria not too long ago for no freaking reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard when you sit back and you look at everything like, who's really the good and the bad guys? Everybody has bad. I don't think people come into things with bad intentions. I think they come in things with good intentions, and then
just find bad results.
Power struggles. It's always about power. Somebody's always trying to be more powerful than the next person. And that's what it was. The Jedi had the power. They didn't want to give up that power. They had held that power for 1,000 years. And then all of a sudden, here you go. They got their power taken away. And then what? Palpatine had the power. Sidious had the power. The Sith had the power. They had it for 30 years. Power got taken away. Somebody came in and took the power. That's what it's always about. That's what causes war. One group of people trying to tell another group of people what to do. One trying to inflict their power onto the next person. And that's what it always goes down to. That's the crazy thing. Like, we think about it like right now. People are trying to dictate whether or not people can have abortion. Why do you care? You're not the one dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not your
Kyle's
fucking
just hitting
baby.
all the hot buttons today.
Right?
Dude, it's just crazy because the way the world is, you can look at this shit. Dude, it's so crazy the way that fucking Star Wars, like everything that happens in Star Wars is just a fucking reflection of what's going on in the real world right now.
Mm-hmm.
The same
that's what
shit.
George intended.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. There's so much politics in Star Wars that it's like, without the politics in Star Wars, there would be no Star Wars. It's all the politics. And it's crazy that fucking George Lucas in the 70s knew that this shit was going to be happening right now. And predicted that this shit was that we would be going through the same type of thing. And I think George's real outlook was, what can I give people to see the fucking bad shit that can happen if people get into these dogma, fucking idealist fucking ways? What can happen to the world? Let me put out these movies. And I think he said it in a fucking interview one time.
He did.
he was like, I put out the movie so people would know the outcome, so we might not go down that path. Basically, we're there.
All right.
We are there right now.
What do you say we get into the news and rumors? We've been on this train for a while.
Well, y'all got to tell me to shut up. I've been on this train for a while. I've been talking.
I know, that's
30
what I'm
minutes straight.
saying.
I was just letting you go. You were on a streak, and I was just.
I hope I made sense. I hope I helped somebody out. Fuck. Whatever I say, I try to help. I'm trying to be helpful.
All right, so news and rumors?
News and rumors.
Let's do it.
This is Alton Castle for the only news you need, the HoloNet News.
Okay, before we get to the news and rumors, we got to go through because we kind of didn't get through the chat.
I mean, we were kind of hitting on it as it was popping up.
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot in
hello,
the chat.
just woke up, celebrated. Too late last night. My wife just finished Child Development Association. She's gonna finally be a teacher. I'm so proud. That is dope.
Congratulations.
Tell your wife we said congratulations. That's great. That is very, very good. I'm always happy when somebody, is pursuing what they want to do with their lives. Dr. Carter said, which doesn't make sense when you look at his action in Master and Apprentice. Yeah, that's kind of true because Qui-Gon was kind of an asshole to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan didn't want to be his fucking apprentice, and Qui-Gon really didn't want him to be his fucking, he didn't want to be his master. They just went about attachment the wrong, should have allowed, but they should understand that everyone is going to die and not fear losing their loved ones. That's a good way. If they taught that would have been a good way out. Like, they're going to die, so they'll be one with the Force. I guess they kind of
Especially because they taught the way to the dark side starts with fear and pain.
Yeah. Dr. Carter said, bring back the Old West. I wish we could, because a lot of stupid people would die.
Right.
A lot of stupid people would die. Okay. What do we got for news and rumors?
Most of the news was about the Ahmad Best thing.
Yeah, I do have a rumor about 3 films to be announced at Celebration.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
One of them is in an awkward place at the moment with behind-the-scenes drama.
Which is kind of hard to say. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce at least one movie.
And then also a rumor, Disney reportedly firing Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy if a Star Wars movie isn't in theaters by Christmas of 2025.
I don't know. I don't see them firing Kathleen Kennedy.
I don't either.
I saw that on Fandom Wire. We'll see if it actually ends up
got
happening.
like a 20-year contract. We should look that up. I'm gonna look into that because I think her contract is freaking like super long, and that was part of the deal with George Lucas. Like she had I guess that would be over 20 years now, or it'd be about 20 years. What they bought him in 2012, so it'd be over 20 years. So hey, shit.
No, I thought technically it was only renewed through 2024.
Yes, I don't know. I have to look
because she
into
kept getting it renewed, but the last renewal was only till 2024. So who knows?
So that would put it about right if she don't have a movie out by 2025.
Anybody else got anything?
One of the actors. Let me pull this shit up. Let me see if it'll pull it up. What the hell? So Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 8 almost happened, reveals one of the actors.
Ooh.
So the 7th season stunned fans back in 2020 when the show came back out. And despite the Clone Wars being loved so much, I guess there was, and I'm trying to figure out, I read this already, but I can't remember what the actor's name is. So D. Bradley Baker and James Arnold Taylor both said that they had plans for season 8 of the Clone Wars to come out,
and they were recording lines for it.
Yeah, they had already started recording a line. Baker said, "How far did we get? We did we get to season 8 before pulling the plug? Taylor said, yeah, we were teetering on the edge of that. There was a lot that was recorded. George Lucas originally said he wanted to do 300 episodes of the Clone Wars, but then Disney pulled the strings on it and decided to do the Bad Batch instead.
Dude, D. Bradley Baker's in fucking everything, man.
That dude is dope. That's why.
It's not easy being a badass, Garrison.
I just looked him up and I just looked up some of his characters and geez, he's in everything.
He's in everything.
Everything animated, he's probably in it.
I want this is it's news, but it's also it's a good thing. So anybody that wants to get into the High Republic and get like really in depth in what's going on in the High Republic, Chronicles of a Jedi is a great introductory guide into the era of Star Wars, into the High Republic era. They got, it's 15 novels, 2 audio dramas, 10 comic book series, 3 volumes of ongoing, it's just a plethora of Star Wars. And a lot of them is short, so you can get through them real quick for reading. I've read a lot of them, and I'm not even into reading it. But the Chronicles of a Jedi, it's a great introduction. So if anybody's really looking into getting into the High Republic, definitely look at Chronicles of a Jedi. Rumor-wise, you touched on the one of them that I had, the new Star Wars. Well, basically it says Star Wars fans may be getting a big surprise at the 2023 celebration. And this one said 3, but they're guaranteeing 1 is not a rumor. I guess it's already been released. I couldn't find nothing on it, but that 1 is definitely going to be released at the thing by CBR is the one that comic book is the one that said that. Oh no, that was MSN. And then there's supposed to be an Andor character that's going to show up in The Mandalorian. This is just a rumor. But reading the article through, it's on thedirect.com. It looks pretty promising.
I wonder how.
And then leak-wise, Andor Season 2 filming is in Valencia, Spain, and it's happening now.
Ooh, let's go. Andor.
They have Mom Mothma on a boat.
Yes.
In Valencia, she was... they showed the filming of, or her being on a boat, and then they showed her speeder being there. And they're trying to figure out if she's on...
I wonder why Valencia, Spain.
I don't know. I guess because they're trying to say it's part of... People are speculating, is that Shalandra or Chalandria, or however you say it, or is it on Coruscant? Or it could possibly be on...
Naboo?
What's the planet that got blown up?
Alderaan?
Alderaan,
yeah.
I was spacing there for a minute. But it
Maybe.
might be
It doesn't look super Alderaan-y, though, to me.
No.
and it doesn't look like it's Coruscant, so I'm thinking it's Shalandra, or however you say that.
But
shit.
Naboo was
Chandrilla?
also the Spain and Italy. That was Naboo.
Right.
Yeah, but the part that they're doing it is more like the city. The pictures that they show of it anyway is like more in like the city, and it kind of looks like the way it's the Shalandria, or however you say that. I can't ever say it right. Is depicted in the books. The description of it is depicted in the books. A lot of waterfronts and big buildings and shit like that. So I don't know. It's going to be cool to see it, but we know that they're filming it, so hopefully it's coming soon. Because I don't want to wait 2 years to watch the second season of Andor.
Valid.
I'm super excited about the second season of Andor.
Right.
And that's all the news that I had.
Guess that. Tori, you got anything?
Outside of the 2 that I said.
I guess
Like
that
a lot
brings
of it
us
was
to
about
the
a my
quiz.
best.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, it seems like they're old. Because I read through a couple of them. They seem like old articles. Like I read them last summer when all the stuff was going on about when basically all the stuff that was going on with him in the Jedi trial thing, and they was talking about it so much, and I was like, this dude's he's gonna show a cameo in something, just like I know Daisy Ridley's gonna be back in something somewhere.
Yep.
because they've been bringing her up too much over the last couple months. Okay, y'all ready for the quiz?
Holy, get off
Let's
of
do
me.
it.
Stop right there, you rebel scum. Prepare yourself for the Star Wars Impossible quiz. Blast them.
Okay. Question number 1. A code cylinder was used by the Empire to gain access to restricted areas. They were also used by the First Order under the different name. What did the First Order call them?
A what?
A code cylinder. You know, the things that they put in the thing to open the doors? The little pin things that the Empire wore around?
A key card.
Yeah, basically not the key pin thing that they put in the doors.
Yeah.
What did the First Order call them?
Fucking a key? I don't know. Jeez Louise, bro. What? What kind of thing? It's like, what do they call pagers in Spain? I don't fucking know. Like
El Pager.
El Pejoro. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. These ones is gonna be kind of hard. I outdid myself this time.
Damn, dude.
Called an access cylinder.
Jeez, what the flip?
Okay, some of them are easy. Some of them
He's
should be able to
coming
do.
out with the flipping zingers. I
Right?
have no
He came
idea.
out straight out the gate looking for violence.
Okay. Well, I expected CJ to come back because CJ would got some of these. I'm pretty sure.
I am not entirely sure what happened. He just said gotta go and peaced out.
When Ventress helps Ahsoka Tano escape from the Republic authorities on Coruscant, she loses her twin lightsabers when she is ambushed by Barriss Offee. Ventress later acquires a new lightsaber on the black market. What color was that lightsaber?
Red?
No.
Green,
No.
white,
No.
blue,
No.
purple.
Okay, y'all just gonna go through all the colors. I'm just gonna tell you. It was a yellow bladed lightsaber.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, Chris
Louise,
got
bro.
it yellow.
Good job, Chris. Better than me.
Right?
After Count Dooku cuts off Anakin's right arm on Geonosis, the Jedi Knight receives a mechanical prosthetic as a replacement. How did he retain his sensation of touch?
Science.
Well, yeah, but that's not the answer. J-Dog, what's up?
An upgraded computer.
Nope.
The Force.
No. Well, I mean, I guess the Force probably had something to do with it.
I
You had
thought-
to be able to use the
Is
Force.
it not
no
science?
idea.
It's like the. I thought that was like because Luke could do it
I mean,
too. It's
science
just
is
part
the
of, like,
answer, but that's not like the direct answer. Like, I need to know.
Oh, you're looking for like the scientific name?
Yeah.
Like neurological
Rebuilding nerves?
robot neurological interface. I don't fucking know.
Electrostatic fingertips.
I have no idea.
Jesus Christ.
Peter tinkles. Spidey senses.
Okay. Anakin Skywalker watches Qui-Gon Jinn use a device to project a three-dimensional representation of Queen Amidala's ship in the movie. You know, he goes, psh. What was that device called?
Cell phone.
Holo projector?
Oh,
Data pad.
I fucking
cell phone. Nope.
No idea.
Chris said an iPad.
Projector.
Somehow, Darth Akari says, somehow I am behind a few seconds. Chris answered before the question was even asked. And how that, I think it has to do with people's internet fucking thing. I don't know. Darth Akari, iPhone 27.
The Force.
The Force. Okay. It's called an image caster.
Image caster.
Okay. What was the name of the hyperdrive that Qui-Gon asked Watto if he had for sale?
Nubian. Oh.
And 127?
Nope. Come on, chat. Y'all should know this one. Anybody that's seen the movie 1,000 times, like both of y'all, should have known the answer.
Oh, come on. I don't remember.
I don't
Is
either.
it like numbers or something, or is
Yeah,
it?
there's some numbers in it.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember.
Come on,
Gosh,
chat.
dang it! Like, like T16. I don't know.
A Naboo one. Yeah, it's a Naboo one.
Nubian NOS injector.
Corellian overdrive.
A Ford
Nubian
F-150.
injector.
I have no idea. It's a Ford fucking Ranger.
All right, it was the T14 hyperdrive.
T14.
Nubian T14 hyperdrive.
I tried. Ford F-150.
Okay, so essential for survival on the desert planet Tatooine. GX8 water vaporator collector moisture. Okay, a GX8 water evaporator collects moisture from the air by means of a refrigerated condenser. How much water does each unit collect per day?
5 gallons.
Nope.
25 gallons.
Nope.
Like half a gallon.
Close.
5 gallons.
No.
One quart. One
Not
quart.
enough. Half gallon. Yeah, Garrison and Chris was pretty close with the half gallon.
1 quart. So a quarter of a gallon.
1 quart? No.
No idea.
1.5 liters of 40 ounce.
I
That's
was very
depressing.
close. I was very close.
Basically a 40 ounce of liquid.
That sucks, bro.
Depressing.
Bro, that's tough.
Because an ounce is 32.
How do they live on that planet, bro?
Dude, half gallon, y'all was pretty close with that half gallon one. I was like, ooh, shit, if anybody goes any lower than that, it's going to be pretty close. Okay, when was the first time we seen a plasma-based energy bowl used in Star Wars?
Clone Wars with the Night Sister.
Yeah, it's probably Clone Wars.
Yep. Tori got it. During the Night Sister episode of the Clone Wars. It's the only time we've seen a plasma-based one.
Right.
Because Omegas is energy-based.
The hell's
That
the
was
difference?
a trick question. That was a trick question. Because somebody kept saying, oh, we seen it in fucking. Like, nope, that's not when it happened. Because there's other time we see energy-based ones in the Clone Wars. But that's the first time we see plasma-based. Okay, a Jadaric table. A Jadaric is a table game popular throughout the Star Wars galaxy. We see it on the Millennium Falcon. A Jadaric table is comprised of how many centric circles? I couldn't get that last part out. So the table that they're playing the game on, R2-D2, playing with Chewbacca.
7?
Has centric circles in it. How many centric circles is in a Jadaric table?
32.
7?
No.
Dude, I have no idea. 20.
Nope.
12?
Nope. 12 ain't it.
6.
Bro,
Nope.
no clue. What?
I have no idea.
Nope. Chris.
Not 36. 227.
Nope.
1.
Nope.
There's no. It's a trick question. There's no circles. It's squares.
Nope.
No.
There's 3.
Huh.
Damn.
There's 3.
Jeez,
Okay.
bro.
What was the maximum amount of buzz droids that could fit in a jet-powered Discord missile?
6.
Nope.
8.
9.
Nope.
2.
Nope.
12.
Nope. Remember, when that one blew up and they landed on the back of Obi-Wan's thing, how many of them was there? Chris is pretty close.
7.
Yep, 7 is the answer.
I just went off from Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Question number 10, final question. What did the Purgles need to eat before they could jump into hyperspace?
Hyperdrives.
No.
People.
No.
Krill.
A star.
No.
A hearty breakfast.
No.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they
Wheaties.
gotta eat a hearty breakfast in order
Wheaties.
to apply. Gotta eat they Wheaties.
Black
Yeah,
matter.
I have no idea.
Nope. Space
No
cradle.
clue.
Electricity. Nope. Nope. Space gas. It's space gas, but what kind of space gas?
Hydrogen peroxide.
Nox.
Nope. A
don't know.
BLT.
The Big Mac. Gatorade.
Nope.
So what is it?
Coaxium or clusium 36. Clusium 36 is digested and processed as coaxium in the purgle, and coaxium if they eat that directly. It's the same thing that's in a hyperdrive. They coat the inside of a hyperdrive with coaxium.
So they could have eaten a hyperdrive, and that would essentially.
So it's in Rebels. There's a whole episode about it, and they're at a coaxium mine. I figured somebody would get that. Actually, I think we watched that. I think it's in season 2.
Is it?
I think it's like 4th episode of season 2, if I remember correctly, which I'm probably wrong. So that's it. All 10 questions. Garrison got 1 and Tori got 1.
Yay. That was rough.
That was.
Hey, I couldn't come up with shit today. I just started looking at what is this? Coaxium. Well, let me find out something about this shit. Okay, I started reading shit. I didn't even have one done this morning. I woke up, I didn't even have one done. I was spent so much time looking up, like, dude, we gotta stop talking about topics like this. I learned more about this shit that I'm just gonna turn around and forget in 2 days anyway, because I got MS brain. It's a fun episode. Other than the beginning, and CJ got up and left. He got mad at me. He got up and left. I know he got up and left.
No, his phone started ringing. He got a phone call, and next thing I know, he is peeking his head through the door saying, "Gotta go." I was like, "Okay."
I figured he was mad at me. And everybody, I would, you know what I'm saying?
Got a little carried away.
I'm outspoken. I say I'll tell people how it is, and that just, I don't know. That just seems like some weak shit. I'm not killing myself for nobody. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I love me more than anybody. That's what you have to. That's the thing. Cat Williams.
Don't start. Nope. Don't start.
Hold up. Cat Williams said, he said, "How can somebody fuck up the way you feel about you, simple motherfucker?" And that made more sense to me than anything else in the world. How can anybody else make you feel bad about you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you are you. The only person that can make you feel about you is you.
Yeah.
And then I had a pastor one time.
You just need that reminder sometimes. We just had someone in Arizona yesterday tried to kill herself she tried to commit suicide on the freeway by driving the wrong direction.
Oh, goddamn. Like, there's so much easier, better ways to kill yourself. If you're going to do it, just do it right way. Put a gun in your mouth and just get it over with. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, dude. Like, people that do fucked up shit.
Don't bring someone else down with you. Like
God, that's so fucked up. It's a, and then I had a pastor one time that told me every emotion is a choice. You choose to be happy. You choose to be sad. You can choose any time not to be sad. If you don't want to be sad, choose not to be sad. You won't be sad anymore. It's that easy. And I was like, dude, that's fucking bullshit. My heart was broken. You know what I'm saying? My heart was broke. I feel like shit. I just started being happy, and I was like, damn, this shit actually works. Like, just don't fucking be sad. It's fucking, all emotions are controllable. So it's like, I mean, and it's fucked up that people did him that way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just have a very bad problem crediting people for, you know what I'm saying, just because everybody goes through that shit. At one point in the life, everybody in life is bullied. One point in time, you get bullied by somebody. And it's just, it sucks, but hey, it's just part of life. You know what I'm saying? It's just, everybody goes through it. You just have to work through it, and you just got to utilize it.
All we can control is don't be one of those guys. Be one of the
make good
nice
choices.
Ones. Yeah.
The only person, and this is, and I found this out when it came to my kids, there's only one person in this world that you can control, and that's you. You can't control nobody else. you can give people advice and hope that they take it, or if they don't, then you can't even get upset about that. Like, I give my kids advice all the time. They be doing stupid shit sometimes. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just, and I probably did the same dumb shit when I was younger. I didn't want to listen to people that was older than me. I know I was talking to my friend that I've had for like 25 years, 30 years almost now. And we was talking last night, and he was sitting back telling me some shit that we done when we was younger. I was like, I was a dumbass. How the hell did I make it this old? You know what I'm saying? I did some dumb shit. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just life. Life is just life. Okay, so I'm not going to get all back into that. I hope everybody has a great week till Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday, you know, to talk some more, because this is the last episode of Bad Batch, right? Is this the last one?
No, off the top of my head.
I don't know.
Yeah, let me look it up. I don't want to misquote that shit. The Bad Batch season 2, not 21.
It's yeah.
Yep, March 29th. Is the last ever.
It's going to be 2 episodes though.
How long is it going to be? Does it say?
I don't know. It just says 2-episode finale. Probably just normal length episodes.
Probably just like a long ass episode.
No, it's probably just there are 2 episodes, and they're probably just going to be like normal length. You know what I mean?
Okay, here go. Wait a minute. Episode 15 and 16 release date. Or release date and time.
The 29th.
It says the 29th, but does that give us you know, sometimes they give us the
I'm sure they're just normal lengths. They're just 2 of them.
Well, hopefully they do something to. They're going to rescue Crosshair. I know they are. They're going to go rescue Crosshair. It's going to be dope. They're going to go out with a bang. It's going to be the best 2 seasons, best 2 episodes of the season. I hope.
But there's so that means we're probably going to get a season 3.
I'm willing it with the Force.
That means we're probably going to have a season 3 though, because like I don't see you wrapping up the whole series in these 2 episodes.
No, I don't think it's going to be the end of the series. But I think they're going to go get Crosshair. Hey, don't say that shit, Darth Dakari. He said it's going to be 2 fillers.
2 fillers.
Oh.
You're going to end the season with 2 filler episodes?
That would be awesome. Oh my gosh.
And we got
the rage that would happen on the show.
And we got Mandalorian coming. And this is the 5th episode of the 8-part series, or 8-part season 3. So we should have some good shit to talk about. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully they do some good episodes. They expand on the shit from last week on Mandalorian, so we can learn a little bit more about the Mandalorian culture and these fanatics that won't take their helmets off. So I think Bo-Katan is going to do some weird shit. I have a feeling she's going to take her helmet off in front of everybody. Like, what? It's not even that hard, no man. I can go back to Mandalore. There ain't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? Go jump in the water, come back out with my helmet on. I can join right back up. It's not that bad. Take off my helmet whenever I want. There ain't nobody on Mandalore to stop me. You know what I'm saying? But so we will see you guys then. So I think this episode came to an end. We hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as we did doing it, because we had an incredible time sharing our passion for this incredible franchise with you guys. And this is just the beginning. If you want to stay up to date with the latest Star Wars news, rumors, and fan theories, check us out on all of our social medias and watch all the rest of our videos. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. By doing so, you are joining the community of like-minded Star Wars fans who share your love for this galaxy far, far away. And I know I didn't seem like a very loving person today. I love everybody. I really do, though. And if you want to see more, if you want more Star Wars content, then always, check out the rest of our videos. We've dived into everything. As you guys know, this has been here for a long time. I'm basically right here talking to any new listeners. To make the original trilogy, we went over the best video games. We went over all kind of controversial topics. We just try to have fun and talk about the different shit of Star Wars. So we have something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join us on this amazing adventure through the Star Wars universe. And until next time, remember, stay outrageous and may the Force be with you.
Make it, Chester.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcott, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.